That's how I feel about this little camera. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Many of you have asked me about the new camera. It's a Dji Osmo Pocket, and it's really tiny. I'll get a picture of it in my hand here in a minute so you can see that. Extremely tiny, has a 3-axis gimbal on it, and the footage that you see now is really steady because that gimbal makes a huge difference. It's just awesome. So one of the things that I love about it is how portable it is. It just fits in your pocket. Hence the name Osmo Pocket. And there's been a lot of folks that have done reviews on it, and a lot of them just, you know, they're the guys that do camera reviews. But Lynn and I use it every day for vlogging our travel adventures, and it's made a huge difference. I always have it with me. The audio, even though some said it wasn't that great, we felt differently about that. It's actually better than we ever thought it would be, and it's been pretty good. Another thing that you need to consider when you have a camera in your pocket and you're taking it out would be how long will the battery last. On this one, at 4K 30, you can expect about an hour or so of video recording, and that seems to be enough for us. We can take it for, you know, our adventures when we go out in the morning. We come back, I connect it up to the little charger, and 15 minutes later it's at 95%, and we take it back out again. One downside is that it does not have an extra battery, so there's no external battery. But what you can do is any of the little pucks that will charge your phones or any other device, you can put those in your backpack or in your pocket, and if it gets low on juice, just connect it up for 10 or 15 minutes and you'll get up to 50% more battery based upon the one we're using. Ooh, that was something back there. Don't know if we caught that or not. But even though that's a downside, I guess the positive is you don't ever have to worry about did you put the battery in it. The battery's always in it, and as long as you remember to charge it, it stays charged. Another great thing about it would be all the modes that it provides for you to shoot. Right now I'm in 4K 30, and I'm in the first person view, which means it's going to follow the camera around. It's not going to be as stable as it would otherwise. But it's the kind of thing that works really well when you're walking around showing people what you're looking at. You don't have to worry if the camera is really looking where you're looking. Another mode that I'll show you now is slow motion mode. We like that one a lot. Another great feature, especially if you use it for doing things like Lynn and I do, is the microphone is right where my thumb is. So it's always pointed right at my mouth. So whenever I'm narrating one of the things that we're doing, it works perfectly. You can hear what I'm saying, but you can still see what I'm looking at. But if I want it to look at me, all I've got to do is triple tap the little select button. It'll swing around, it'll lock on my face. That's a really cool feature for something this small. Other modes that it will shoot, it'll do 4K 60. And while that's really high quality, if you have a MacBook and you can bring it in, or a high-powered PC, then man, that'll be just awesome. You'll be able to really tell the difference of how great that footage looks. We edit on an iPad Pro, 2018 12.9 iPad Pro, and currently Apple's release of iOS has a hard time seeing that. In fact, if it were not for my RAV-Power external device for me to connect to it and bring it directly into LumaFusion, I wouldn't be able to use 4K 60 at all. Since finding that out the hard way, the most I really ever shoot in 4K is 4K 30. It'll also take photos. The little select button, if you click it once, it'll take a photo. If you click it again, it'll go back to the video mode you last had selected. It will also do a panoramic photo in two different means. Let me show you what that will do. I'll get up here in the clearing, and then we'll stop and I'll take a panoramic photo of where we just came from. This is what that looks like in 180. And that last one I just did was a panoramic 3x3, which takes 9 pictures and then stitches them together. It will also do time-lapse, and it will do a moving time-lapse, and you need to have some type of stand to put it on to get that to work really well. So I would say this camera has been a really big hit. And although many times I like it so much I would kiss it, what I really need to do is kiss my wife, because she gave it to me for my birthday.
Happy birthday.
It was a beautiful gift from my beautiful best friend.
Aw.
We used to use our GoPro when we were going down the road, because we could point the external microphone at us and you could hear us talking while it could see what we were seeing. This takes that one step further and makes it even better. We have a little accessory that I'll show you that allows us to mount it to any kind of quarter 20 screw for a tripod, or to anything that's GoPro mount related, and we put that right on the dash of the Travato. When we're going down the road and it's facing forward, you can see what we see, but you can also hear us when we're talking. But if we want you to look at us and we want it to be focused on us when we're talking, all we have to do is do that triple tap thing. Now it's going to swing around the lens, and it'll be facing us. So when you guys see us, what was that?
Squirrel.
Okay. So when you guys see us talking to you in the van, 99% of the time you will see us talking to you on the Osmo Pocket sitting on the dash. Another really cool feature is you can connect this directly to your iPhone or Android phone, and you can control the device. You can have a really big preview window to be able to see what you're recording and what you're photographing, and everything is really easy to use. It used to be the only way that you could access the pro features of this camera, but a recent firmware update made it really easy to access all the pro features without even having to connect your phone. The phone does give you the ability to see better what you're framing and how you're framing the shot. But other than that now, there's not really a big need to connect your phone to it. You have just this little thing, and that's all you have to worry about. Yeah, as Lynn just pointed out too, it is difficult sometimes to see this little bitty screen. We took a group photo today of all the Travato folks that were in this park, and none of us could see the 7-second countdown. We just all smiled and kept smiling for what we thought was 7 to 10 seconds, and maybe once or twice we saw it flash, but we couldn't see the countdown at all. Some of the advanced photos that it takes, like the time-lapse and the slow-mos and the panoramics, have to be rendered by the app that is connected to the Osmo. So you simply connect the app to the Osmo, render the photo, and then download it to the camera roll, and it works perfectly. But when you try to import those into the iPad camera roll, it won't work that way. You'll get an error message. So you have to remember to do that. I guess that's both a negative and a positive. It's really cool that it does that. It'd be really cool if it rendered it automatically for you and would save it off without you having to connect it to the phone. But as long as you remember to do that when you're putting your footage together, it never really seems to be a problem for me. So the $349 question is, would I buy this again? And the $349 answer to that is, if I broke this or I lost it, I would find a Best Buy somewhere and I would buy another one as soon as I could. It's been one of the best camera purchases we've ever made. The fact that it came from my sweetheart as a birthday gift is just a bonus, but this has been a great purchase. And if you do photography or videography, this probably should be in your bag of tricks. So Lynn and I have figured out that everything you get in the Travato has to have one or two purposes. You can't have a camera that just makes photos and doesn't do video. And you, wait a minute, I hope it didn't get me farting. So as you know, Lynn and I travel and live most of the time in a Travato. And when you do that, you have to maximize your storage. That means getting things that are tiny that will do the work of something that's much bigger. For us, this camera is a perfect fit. It takes great photographs, it makes really stable, perfect video, and it's just so small. It just fits perfectly with what we're doing. And while it's not a modification that makes our Travato better, The fact that it makes all of our videos and photography better while taking up less space, well, that's a plus for us, and it makes our Travato better for us. So there you have it. That's how I feel about this little camera. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.